We all know about noise canceling headphones, luggage scales, tile and AirTag trackers, but there is a ton of great travel tech out there that you might not have heard of. That's what today's video is going to be, a little roundup of some of the most interesting and unique pieces of travel tech I've found. So without any further ado, let's jump right into it. We have first up the ESR Halo Lock Kickstand Magsafe Powerbank charger. That's definitely a mouthful. I've used the ESR Halo Lock charger for quite some time and have talked about it a few more times, but they recently came out with a new option that actually includes a Magsafe power bank, the actual kickstand that you're used to on the Kickstand charger, as well as a way to use for pass-through, just regular plugged-in charging. So this is kind of 3 travel items all in one. Initial testing of this has been good. The Magsafe, the actual magnetic aspect, works really well. It's a super strong magnet. I have the 12 Pro Max and I haven't had any issues with sliding or slippage or anything like that. Definitely sturdy and on there. The kickstand obviously works really well. Super handy to have a kickstand while you're traveling. If you're on your flight, you can prop your phone up and watch TV or something, or even if you're doing a meeting or something, you can have this and have a nice video chat. On top of that, you have USB pass-through charging, which is really nice if you want to cut down on the cables that you bring. But on top of the kickstand and the charging that was in their previous iteration, this also has a 5,000 milliamp hour battery built in. There are a few caveats that I want to mention though. 5,000 milliamps isn't that big, especially considering the size of this. I would have liked to have seen it be a little bit slimmer for the smaller capacity battery. And then it's also a 7.5 watt charger, so you're not going to get the full 15 watts like an Apple MagSafe charger. Other than those 2 caveats though, it's really great. You're able to charge the power bank and do pass-through charging to your phone, so you can charge them both simultaneously. If you're running somewhere and only have limited time and access to a plug, kind of 2 for 1 there. And I always like having these multi-purpose travel items. I do wish they made a 10,000 mil version or slim this down for a 5,000 mil version, but $50, definitely a really good option if you don't have a ton of power needs in terms of the battery bank capacity. Next up from there, we have the BenQ GV30 wireless portable projector. Some of you may be familiar with this already. They sponsored a video a while back, but since then I still use this thing constantly and absolutely love it. This is a fully wireless battery operated projector, and just for a pretty reasonably compact size, it is a great option for certain types of traveling. My wife and I have been projecting this onto our bedroom ceiling since we got it, and it's just really great to be able to lounge and watch TV in bed on the ceiling. It's 2.1 channel surround sound, and the speakers sound surprisingly good. You can use this as just a Bluetooth speaker if you want, so it's kind of some extra functionality if you're staying around Airbnb with a big group or a party. It has built-in autofocus, which works really quick and really well in my experience. Because it's portable, you're going to be moving around, throwing it onto random surfaces constantly, so it's great that it's just something that's going to auto-adjust for you. You don't have to worry about it. One caveat though, it is only a 720p projector. I am a bit of a resolution snob myself, and I haven't really had any issues with this. I think it's just because of the context of this. You're going to be throwing it onto walls, and you're not going to have a fancy, properly gray painted projector area like you would in a permanent home theater projector. This is going to go on all kinds of surfaces and things like that. So it hasn't really been an issue for me. It goes up to about 100 inches, if memory serves me right. The battery inside lasts about 2 hours. You can also plug it in as a really nice long cable, which has been really useful for me. Has a built-in Android TV streaming stick, so you can put all the streaming services on here without having to plug in any external things, or you can AirPlay from your phone. iPhone or Android works well. Obviously, Android TV is going to pair and work a little bit better with Android, but I'm an iPhone user and I haven't had any issues with that either. This definitely isn't going to fit the bill for every single trip of every single kind, but I think if you're road tripping or going on some big friend group type of trip, I think something like this would be really great to have, and I've definitely loved having it the past few months and can't recommend it enough. I want to take a quick minute to thank the sponsor of today's video, Friedrik, and showcase their Carry-On Pro carry-on suitcase. After a few months using and testing the Carry-On Pro, I can easily say it's the nicest suitcase I've ever owned. It's a hard-sided polycarbonate material. You have really nice Italian leather accents. I have the chocolate leather here, but they also also have a black leather and a cognac leather. You have built-in TSA compliant locks, and also the locking and closing mechanism itself is just really satisfying and easy. You also have kind of the best in the best in terms of spinner wheels. These are silent 360-degree Hinomoto spinner wheels. The main difference with the Carry-On Pro, you have this hard-sided external pocket that's really great for storing your laptop or any other type of quick access items, especially if you're going through TSA. It makes things a little bit simpler just to be able to easily pull it out. You don't have to open up and tear apart your whole bag. I've also recently gotten my hands on their packing cubes. They're made with an rPET material, so they're made from recycled plastic bottles. You have YKK zips, they're mesh. You have a 100-day trial period with the Carry-On Pro, so for any reason it's not working out, you can have it sent back. And of course, they have a lifetime warranty on their luggage. Be sure to check the link in the description below for a little bit more information. You can use code JF15 for 15% off your order. I also used this for my long-term travel packing list a few weeks ago, so check that video out if you want to see an in-depth packing list using something like the Carry-On Pro. Huge thanks to Friedrik for sponsoring this week's video. Let's get back to the next item. Next on the list, we might be skirting the definition of tech just a little bit, but it's a really interesting gadget that I wanted to share. This is the Knox Provisions Zoom Tube. It's an 8x32 monocular for $75, so pretty reasonably priced. The build quality is excellent. Functionally, it's been really great. This has been a really fun addition for hiking for me. And I could see a lot of people wanting to use this just for regular travel as well, but a lot of my trips I end up doing some hiking in whatever the local trails are. It's IPX4 rated, which will protect it from splashes, but unfortunately it's not fully waterproof, so you can't submerge it or anything like that, but just some really light rain or something like that, you're not going to run into any issues. And they also offer a lifetime warranty on it as well, so if anything happens, they'll take care of you. One thing that's really cool with this, you have a 1/4" 20 thread on one side, so if you want to use something like a Peak Design capture clip, put it on your backpack strap, you can kind of have it really easily accessible to use whenever you want. It's also not very heavy at about 270 grams, or I think just under 10 ounces for us Americans. They also have a few really cool attachments. This is the Inspector microscope. It's an extra $35, so really not too expensive as an add-on. Gives you a 4x zoom and a really close focusing distance, so you can use it as a microscope. This is meant to be used in the field. In my experience, just because it is so zoomed in and so tight, it's kind of tough to keep a steady hand when I'm out like hiking trying to look at a leaf or something, but this has been really fun to use around the studio and around the house. I've actually been studying different fabrics and things for reviews to get a really close look at how the weave is or different things like that. It's just been a really fun kind of extra accessory to have with this. But overall, just really solid build quality, lifetime warranty, really functional, small, lightweight, a lot easier to carry around than like a proper pair of binoculars. Would definitely recommend this thing, even though it might not technically be tech. I thought it would fit really well in here. I found out about the next item on the list based on a few comments from some of you in the audience, so I really appreciate the heads up. This is the Backbone 1 mobile gaming controller. If some of you saw my last travel tech under 100, I got a gaming clip for my Xbox controller to be able to play xCloud games on the go, and a few people had recommended this as a better alternative, so I wanted to pick one up, test it out, try it out. I've had it for about a week now. This will essentially turn your phone into a Nintendo Switch, and it's a lot more of a small compact form factor to be able to travel with, and I definitely think I'm going to stick with this over my other setup that I talked about a couple weeks ago. After about a week of testing, my thoughts on this are mostly positive. I think the build quality is pretty good. All of the app functionality seems pretty good as well. There are a couple of caveats or concerns I might have with this though. From what I hear, the joysticks are pretty well on par with a Nintendo Switch, but as a non-Switch user, I do wish these joysticks were a little bit beefier and more substantial, similar to an Xbox controller or a PlayStation controller. And then as good as the app functionality is, you get a 1-year free trial, but after that it is $50 a year if you want to maintain the Backbone app with all of the full features. All of that considered, I do really like this. It's a much smaller, more compact form factor, a lot better for travel or to be able to throw into a sling bag or a backpack on a day-to-day basis. And it's just a little bit more fun and nicer to hold in the hand. It definitely feels a lot more like you have a Nintendo Switch. They do make an Android version as well as the original iOS version that I have here, and they did just come out with a PlayStation variant as well. So if you want to have the PlayStation buttons instead of the Xbox ones like this, check that out for sure. Overall, I'm pretty impressed with this. I don't remember all of you that recommended this to me the other week, but I am glad you did, and thank you for the recommendation. Next up, we've got another unique power solution for traveling. That is the OmniCharge 20 Plus power bank. This is a 20,000 milliamp hour battery that has just an absurd amount of connectivity. If you're someone that does a lot of work in coffee shops, if you're a digital nomad, or if you're just a tech enthusiast and tend to bring a lot with you on your travels, this is a really good all-in-one type of solution. You have a full 100-watt AC plug on here, which is super helpful for a ton of different things. You know, if you want to run something like a portable projector, plug right into here and work just fine. You have two 18-watt USB-A as well as a 60-watt USB-C and a 100-watt DC plug. On top of that, you have a 10-watt wireless charger to boot. This is kind of like a mini version of some of those big power stations like a Jackery, something that would sit well on a coffee shop table or wherever you're out and about trying to get work done or use your tech. The build quality is great. You have a little OLED screen. One of the things I really like with this, it'll show the power draw if you have anything plugged in. Super useful to see. It's been a great way to test different power draw amounts with different cables and different items as well. But I just can't speak highly enough for the build quality of this. It's a pretty compact size for what it is as well. I think this would be a great addition to a lot of people's kits. As hydro homies know, you need your water, especially when you're traveling and on the go. I've been a big fan of the Lark bottle movement for quite some time. This might be the most common item on the list, but it's such a unique piece of technology. I wanted to make sure and cover it. I thought it fit perfectly into this video. This is a self-cleaning water bottle with built-in UVC technology that will purify your water in addition to cleaning the bottle itself. You have a little button on the top here that will run a cleaning cycle for the water. It'll also kind of turn on an auto clean for certain increments if you don't use it actively. If you do any kind of travel with questionable water sources, this would really be a godsend for you. And even outside of that, it's just a really aesthetically pleasing water bottle. It's a full liter as well for the size, which is nice. And it's just great to have purified water and cleaner water, even if it's not like a huge health concern for you. Been using this for a couple of years now and just can't recommend it enough. Love Lark as a company too. They're 1% for the Planet member and just do a lot of really great stuff. But that's going to wrap it up for the list. I really hope you enjoyed this one. I had a lot of fun putting it together. Definitely some interesting and unique items here. Not everything is going to be 100% perfect, but to have that kind of unique standout type of item, there's usually a bit of a give and take. All these are really great though, and I've been happy testing and using them so far. I'd love to hear if you have any unique travel gear items, especially travel tech items that you want to talk about in the comments. Leave that down below for me. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll talk to you in the next one.